Hello everybody, welcome back to Desk Job Dropout. Today's video is going to be a little more of a rant, might come off as a little bit complaining, but that's kind of the situation and the point that it's gotten to. So if you like the video, like the video. If you want to see more like this, don't forget to hit subscribe. And for the comments of this video, I'd like it to be more of an open discussion. So if you have an opinion, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I'm open to hear you guys out. So drop whatever you want down there. I do my best to respond to every single comment and really engage with you guys and create a nice community here. So this video I wanted to talk about why I think that a lot of people my age, 20 to 30 ish, are looking at the trades a lot more seriously than they ever have before, and why I think you, if you are a younger person in high school or college or even a little bit later in your career, should look at the trades a little bit more seriously than we have before. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I did and kind of how things have gotten to the point that they've gotten to, and why I think in the future it might even get a little worse. So growing up, I was told a lot of the same stuff that a lot of people my age were told. You go to college, you get a degree, get a good job, you're good to go. And frankly, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think that maybe 20, 30 years ago, that was how it worked. But nowadays, I mean, a lot of people can relate. That's just not the case anymore. I graduated a couple months ago, got a finance degree. I had a quote unquote awesome job. Everything looked great on the outside, and I have a video on this channel explaining into my story a little in depth if you'd like to check that out. So I won't get too deep into the weeds on that, but everything was good. And then I kind of just started to see a little bit of why maybe things weren't as appealing as they seemed, or kind of started looking for other career paths. So let's get into it a little bit. I have a couple statistics for you guys that I just wanted to come across and point out, and you can take them or leave them. Feel free to do your own research, but this is what I found. So the average student debt after you graduate college is $38,000. And that's just, you don't even have a job. You just graduated. Now you got 38K in debt. And, where do you go from now? Look for a job, obviously. And if you've had to do that recently, you know that it is not a fun experience. It is something that it's going to take a lot of time. You're going to have to get incredibly lucky. And unless you have awesome connections, if you're going to land a white collar job, one of these entry level jobs that are requiring 2 or 3 years of experience, it's going to take a bit of doing. And at the end of it, you're going to get a job, and then a year from now, you're going to be like, man, you might be sitting in the office applying to other jobs, trying to look, see if the grass is greener somewhere else. But I mean, it's not really seeming that way anymore. So another thing that I think is contributing to a lot of this is the rise of AI. 40 to 50% of white collar jobs are looking to get replaced by AI in the next 10 years. And that's kind of why I think that in the future, it's not really going to get any better, man. I think the trades are going to become a lot bigger than a lot of people realize. And, even working in them for the short time that I have, I've realized that, man, there's a lot of growth potential. There's a lot of need for just guys out there that are willing to do the hard work. And it seems like more and more there's not a lot of people my age that are willing to actually go out and put a hard day's work in and make an honest living anymore. And that's something that, it's gonna all come to fruition eventually. I'm just trying to, give my perspective on it. So another reason I think that a lot of you guys should look into the trades a little bit more is, you don't need a college degree for a lot of this stuff. And like I said earlier, $38,000 is nothing to shake your head at. You're going to have to pay that money off eventually. And I'm not saying don't go to college, do go to college. Obviously, I did. and I don't regret doing it. I think that having a degree is something that will help you out in life tremendously. But, you know, a lot of these trades jobs, man, you make a lot more money than a lot of people realize. And a lot of these places will teach you just like they taught me, even if you have no experience. And you can learn while you're on the job, learn something that, you know, you can do in the future. It doesn't matter if you live in the US, if you live in Europe, anywhere you want to live, you're still going to have a skill set that is useful. And, you know, even just around the house, you can do things. You don't need to call somebody up because, you know, you've done it at work and you kind of have that gritty mindset that you think you can figure it out. And, you know, I think all of that is awesome. And, you know, you'll do the dirty work at first. Kind of like any sort of job there is out there. You know, you're never going to start at the top of the ladder. But, you know, my line of thinking is I'd rather start at the bottom of the totem pole, so to speak, in something that is actually fulfilling, and I know my job's safe, and I know that if I do good, you know, I'll get promoted and I'll be able to, you know, work my way up the ladder. Where I feel like a lot of these white collar jobs, it's kind of just, you know, hoping that you're going to get promoted or hoping that you won't get fired or hoping that there won't be layoffs. There's just a lot of things that are out of your control. And that's kind of the way it is in life sometimes. But, you know, for your career, you want to have as much in your control as possible. And I feel like, you know, it's kind of swinging away from a lot of people a lot quicker than a lot of people realize. And, you know, just more statistics for you guys. 42% of Gen Z are choosing the trades. And, you know, I think that's a really great thing. A lot of them have degrees. And like I said, I think a lot of people are starting to realize that the trades and doing this sort of work is something that's going to be hugely important in the future. And it's not looked down upon like it used to be. Like I said, when I was growing up, it was go to college, get a degree, get a job, and it's just not that anymore. It's become something that is completely different from that, where you can apply to 200-300 jobs and not find anything because of, like I said, the AI, 2 to 3 years of experience for an entry-level job. I mean, it's just crazy out there right now, man. And I guess the point of this video is to just, if you're looking at the trades, look at them a little more carefully. Let them hold a little more weight probably than you're used to letting them hold. And, you know, I say all this, but, you know, college isn't necessarily the enemy, but just going into it blindly and hoping that at the end it's just going to all magically figure itself out isn't really reality anymore. And especially for people my age, and I feel like a lot of people are starting to realize that. And, you know, since I've started this job, I've felt great about myself. I feel like I've got confidence. I got a purpose. I go to work every day, and I'm happy to work with the guys that I work, happy to do the work that we do. You know, you come home and you feel fulfilled at the end of the day, and you can't necessarily say that for all the different jobs out there. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you don't know what to do, hey man, give the trades a try. It's awesome to just build something that can't be outsourced to somebody else. So if you like the video, like the video. Thanks for watching, guys.